Well, hello everybody, or afternoon, as Dixon Design says. Hope you're well. I hope you can hear me and see me. Let me just check everything's green on my side. It looks like you can, so we'll plough on as if we can. Happy Friday. Welcome to Fishy Friday. No, that's not what it's called. Welcome to Fishy Business. The end of another working week for some of us. Those of us that don't have to work for the weekend. So I'm going to enjoy a salt beer, a huckaback Nipa. Well, we say hello to the people who have stumbled across the stream. Good welcome. Good welcome. That's not even a word. Welcome to all. We've got Rebecca's here, freshwater ichthyology. Carter Bing, good afternoon from North Carolina. Maybe we should put that on the map in a bit. Dixon Designs, hello darlings. Mandy, hello. Rebecca's saying she might visit the local fish store in Bristol this weekend. They have an event. Oh, tell me more. What kind of event do they have? I'm interested in events. I was been on some very, very strong drugs for my broken neck, which gave me the best dreams, the most vivid, weirdest, as if you'd eaten like 3 pounds of cheese dreams. And one of them was I'd been invited to a fish show, and it was either in America or Australia. It wasn't clear from the dream, so it's not that vivid. But I had to. They were going to put me up in a hotel, and the idea was that I got like a penthouse suite in the hotel, but I had to pay my own way there. So I was doing live streams, like daily live streams, begging people to give me money so as I could go to this show. And then I turned up to the show and there was nobody else there, and I was like, oh no, what's happening? And I was like, so it just reminded me of be wary of going to events. I don't know why it made me think of that, but anyway, it's just so vivid. Hi from Berkshire, or Berkshire as I believe it's properly called. Lee has changed his name from lovely and sunny Bolton. It's been a lovely and a fantastically warm June day today. Today is the summer solstice, the longest day, or yesterday was the longest day? It's very close to being the longest day. And what a day it was. Lovely mid-20s. Whatever that is, in it's like high 70s, I guess. Mid-70s? I don't know. So as we enjoy this, well, it looks like a mucky puddle, but it's very nice. I invite everyone else to come in, relax. We have a schedule of events for you tonight. We've got the third week of the June quiz. For those of you who are new here, we do a quiz every week. We tally the points of the quiz, and whoever has the most points at the end of the month wins a prize. It might be a half-decent prize. In the past, we've given away bespoke 3D printed breeding setups, tote bags, Fluval, Aquasky lights, all kinds of things. In fact, I still owe a couple. If Jack's here, I owe him a prize. It's JT Keeping Fish, because he won last month, and I think Juggler might be on his way to winning this month, but although he might not be here tonight because of taxi driver duties, so this could be the chance. I'll do some, if you excuse some live spreadsheeting. If you can see that's the current standings at the moment. We've got Juggler, who has 4,998 points in first place, followed closely by Jack with 4,846, Sleeping Beauty 4,034, Laurie Carey Day on 3,880, Stevie P, who I believe it is his birthday today, so if you're here, Stevie P, happy birthday, Stevie P! But he's probably not here because it's his birthday and he's doing something much more interesting. Zenny's in the top 10, Mona Lee is in the top 10, Botty McBotty, Only Owls, June's in the top 10, and Dave H making up the top 10. So we can see some inroads could be made. If you are new, the way the quiz works is you have 20 questions. faster you answer, the more points you get. Questions 10 and 20, you have to wager an amount of points. You can wager any amount. You can wager 10%, 50%, 100%, 97%, whatever it is. If you don't wager anything, you don't win any points. But then you don't lose points as well, in case you're not confident. You know how it goes. So there's been a few people who have been in first place on question 19 and then risked it all and got nothing at the end. Points are tallied, as we talked about. All the questions are multiple choice, but please use the same name each week so as I can use my automagical spreadsheet to do that. Totting up for me, and the correct answer is what I say the correct answer is, not necessarily what it is. If it turns out I'm wrong, I will say sorry, but I'll do nothing about it. Okay, so with that said, we'll get a little bit more admin out the way. I have been trying or toying with the idea of trying to do something for my members. So I've never pushed memberships before, and I've always felt kind of bad about it, but it seems I'm getting left behind. Everyone else has got like 120 members, and even a lot smaller channels than I have got lots more members, and I realised it's because they are doing things for their members. So my current members, I put a poll out earlier in the week to see what kind of things they would like to see more of to justify your membership, because at the moment your membership is just a very nice donation rather than anything else. But I put out a few extra pictures, maybe some short behind the scenes videos, and we talked about maybe doing some members only streams. But if we haven't got a lot of members, that would be like 3 people on a live stream going, you alright? So we need more members to justify doing some of the bigger things. But while I asked the members what they'd like to see more of, so the people who've already invested, they're, to my mind, the ones that have the biggest sway over what they want to get out of it. But you guys who haven't joined as members, and that's completely fine, you don't have to, I understand, cost money, stupid, why would you pay more for this? But is there something that would prompt you to join? Is there something you thought, well, if you did do this, did more posts, more videos, more members only content, more whatever it is, then yeah, I might think of that. So that's the kind of question of the day, is what would we have more of that could spur on some more memberships? Because I'd like to have more members, because I've realised there's probably more things we could do. So where I was thinking of things like more content, you might not want more content because it's just more of me. I'm kind of at the limit of what I can do already, in terms of how much spare time I've got. But maybe we throw some other incentives in there. So I'm kind of thinking out the box. What, members get a 10% bonus on their quiz points. Members get money off at aquariumadventures.co.uk. Members, you already get that, but that type of thing, where it's more of an incentivised. We do a raffle and give stuff away. Do a raffle and give extra 500 points to the raffle winner from the members every week. That kind of thing. So that's what I'm interested in. But first and foremost, Rebecca says it's their birthday event, and that means a lot of people. Fish Shop Matt is doing a demonstration, which means even more people. Ah, right, very good. Say hello for me. Stevie P, on his birthday, is here. Has become a member. Thank you, Stevie. Stephen, I'll call you Stephen now that you've made a membership. Did we all hit the like on the way in? Yeah, so as much as I'm trying to push memberships, interactions, so just saying hello. If you're new here, you've never spoke before, you just have to say hello. That counts as an interaction. A like on your way in or your way out, or a dislike, doesn't really matter. That counts as an interaction, and that all goes towards helping out the channel and helping it do a little bit better. Hans is in from Sweden. Hi, Hans. Berkshire is fine. Steve Channel 4 is lingering about, says hello, that's nice. Yesterday the summer solstice, I knew it was rough. Well, there might be a summer solstice question in the quiz, so maybe I shouldn't talk about that anymore. Reinhard van Holst is in Newbury. No discus stores near me. Well, the good thing about the UK discus scene is some of the best discus retailers ship or are online, or if anything else, are worth the visit, so you can make a day of it. Simon's in. Good evening, Simon. Any prizes concerning camels? I'm in. I could buy like a pack of cigarettes and ship them out to you. That's the thing. If you win, you get to choose what you want. Previous winners have seen things in videos and went, "Oh, can I have that?" Well, yeah, okay. Well, can you print me a such and such? Yeah, we can do that. Jen's Discus ships and has beautiful... Indeed, yeah. A lot of the best UK discus suppliers all ship fish. And they're not all very good. Join our Discord, ba-ding, up there somewhere, and ask about discus, and I will happily give you a list of all the reputable dealers in the UK, because there are some shoddy, shady ones. I think prizes should involve camels. I don't know how I would go about shipping a camel. I don't know how I would go about buying a camel. I mean, maybe a very small camel. How much are camels? This is a turn I didn't think the live stream would take tonight. Buying camels in the UK. So you need a DWA license. Fine, I've got one of them before. Well, you can hire a camel. I might hire you a camel for a while. In fact, no, let's nip this in the bud. No, camels will not be a prize. Cracking on. Stevie B, hello. Happy birthday, Stevie. Wally's Freshwater Aquatic says hello, everyone. Hello to yourself. Rebecca says happy birthday, Steve. Yes. Skiller, do you sell discus approved plants? I have a 450 litre tank with just sand. Please help. Ba-da! Yes. I sell all these plants. Well, not all of them. There's a lotus in there that I don't sell yet, but maybe will one day. But these are all Amazon swords. I've got crypts. I've got giant val. No, I've got rubra vals at the back. Yeah, they are giant vals. Which is pointless because the Amazon swords have taken over completely and you can't see any of them. I think they're dying out because they're not getting enough light. But yeah, there's Java Fern, even though I don't really do very well with Java Fern and discus temperatures, but this one runs a little bit cooler. But yeah, there's I sell loads of them. Camel rides, we could do camel rides. One more year, Rebecca, is that until the big 4-0? I passed that a few years ago, and I don't feel any more grown up, so take that as you will. Members meet-ups. Yeah, maybe we could do that, like... Well, I don't know, how would that work? Some of the members are in America, and... I need to start some kind of GoFundMe to pay for the plane tickets to come along. Go, hi Mandy! Bye! And away we go again. That might be different. But yeah, maybe some... I don't know, if there were some event, like Rebecca's talking about there with Fish Shop Matt going to a local fish shop and doing an event, I could do that at my local Maidenhead Aquatics. I'm sure they'd be alright with that, and everyone come to Sheffield. But then it feels a little bit like I'm like, yeah, pay me to be a member and then drive over the UK to come and see me. That seems like a bit of a... So I'd be up for it, but I'd have to think of a way to make it more valuable for you. I mean, Juggler, you're probably the perfect person to answer this. You've met me. Was it worth it? Really? It's not like I'm some kind of oracle with magical fingers like, I don't know, MD Fish Tanks that can go away and do wonderful aquascapes. I'm not like a guru of fishy knowledge like Rebecca or someone like that can go, come to me with your fishy problems and I'll answer them. I'm just some guy with a camera. But I'd be up for it if you thought it was fun. I mean, big news, and this might be similar vein. I did my first ever talk this week. Now, given it was a talk to a bunch of school kids, but I've never done a talk about fish before where I was the authority figure about it. They knew nothing about the subject. They not even interested in the subject. So it's very different from going to a fish club and doing a talk where the people are already knowledgeable and are properly into it. This was kids who had no desire to keep a fish, knew nothing about fish, and weren't interested in the slightest. But I did manage to talk for 2 hours about fish and did a bit of a quiz and entertained. So I guess that's where I'm coming from. I might be able to entertain slightly. Sometimes I say funny things. Mostly I say stupid things. But maybe that could be the draw to a meet where we all get to hang out. Maybe we have a meal. Maybe I save up the memberships and we all go out and have an Indian or a Chinese or, I don't know, an afternoon in the pub and have a few beers. Or these are the kind of out-the-box things. So, yeah, members meetups, we'll put that on the list. I'm going to make the list. In fact, I can just type it because it's got it over here. That didn't work. Oh no! Thought I broke my spreadsheet. But we could do... I mean, this is kind of a members meet, but we could do like maybe a big Zoom call where we all get to talk rather than just all you getting to listen to me. That might be a thing. I don't know. These are the things I'm thinking about. Meetup situations would be cool for those of you over there. Exactly. I wouldn't want to leave out a whole demographic because I think my audience is kind of almost split 50-50 between the UK and the US. We've got a few outliers like Hans and a couple other ones, but it's kind of 50-50. But yes, welcome to the membership. Thank you very much, Stevie P. This is a quiz day. Dick signs. We'll get the quiz underway in about 15 minutes, maybe, something like that. Hard to do prizes for raffles for members because then you'd have to do the gambling laws. Yeah, I thought there'd be something like that. If I go to the shop event, I don't do well with a lot of people unless it's a fish society event. Even better if they can talk catfish. Well, there you go. An electric eel. The threat of imminent injury is a great incentive, or it was when I saw Joey move his. The hope for pain really made me watch. Pure and Shrimple, hello, how you doing? Nice to see you. Fish Vet's in, and that was Fish Vet that made that comment. Yes, hello. Andrew, nice to see you. How you doing? I forgot he had one. I watched a King of DIY. So as much as after our spat, I kind of thought I'll just not watch, and then I won't fall out with him, and then everything will be fine. But I watched one the other day where he claimed to... Was he saying he'd invented Temu? Or making some claims that because he puts products that he's bought from Temu, where did he get that idea? Because if you check the dates, first Temu video. Anyway, that when he makes a Temu video, all the products get sold out. So he said he'd done some kind of collaboration with Temu and said he's got special codes, but the codes that they just email you anyway, and then all the products that he liked had sold out. It was like, okay, so he's still a bit of a disaster. Aquarium Shed, how we doing? The Great Ocean Disaster, nice to see you. How are you? 2L46 Zebras followed me home. Oh, and I guess you might have lost your wallet on the way. Was that the excuse you tell the better half? Good luck to all you quizzy kiddos. I'll be tapping that like, and then it's nap time. You've only got another 10 minutes. A chance to win big. Win. Camels are quite easy to get. Oh, okay. Well, the DWA has a license to keep them, I believe. You need a DWA license to legally keep a camel in the UK. Question: why would you need to hire a camel? That was one of the suggestions for prizes for the winner of the quiz. Who knows? I'm backtracking. Camels will, unless it's the cigarettes, camels will not be offered as a prize. I'm miles behind again already. Where's my co-host? Is my co-host forsaken me. Does he not want to co-host this week? I even worked on making sure it would work, but no, he's not. Anyone else that wants to co-host, you're welcome to. Would love a UK meetup. Yeah, maybe it could be on the cards. We need to. I'm not great at organising. You've seen this live stream. The fact that I make it here on time most weeks startles me. Never mind organise something like that. For a couple of years ago, we talked about doing an event and hosting an event, and with the greatest of intentions, I think it'd be great, and I'd support it, and I'd even pay for some of it. But I could not be involved in organising it. That is not my skill set. Shame we don't have more general fish keeping. Yeah, I know. Like the thing in Telford apparently is back on again. So that's an event. It's kind of been marketed as a trade event now rather than a customer one again. I can't remember. They sent me an email, I registered for it, and then didn't even read any of the stuff, but I noticed that was back on. But we used to have a lot more. I never went to any of them because I was only when I was just getting into the hobby. Like, I'd see them and go, oh, fish keeping meetups, what a weird bunch of people, I'll never be doing that. And then they stopped happening, and I was like, oh, fish keeping meetups, that sounds like fun, I could have done that. School kids don't know enough to question you. Well, I after the quiz, I will paraphrase my talk that I gave, so you can see. But it was a school that my wife is a teacher at, so I did it here. It was remote, because obviously I'm not going to lug in a bunch of fish tanks. So it was an online thing. It was a Zoom call, basically, and it was at my wife's school. So my wife is a biology teacher, and this was for their animal welfare class or whatever. So it was a different teacher and everything. But she said she was walking around the corridors and she could hear my booming voice coming from one of the classes, and it was the weirdest thing ever. And then she looked in at the class and went, I'll save this story for later, but we will crack on. We're going to start the quiz, and I'm saving it for later because I thought it was funny and it didn't paste me in the best light. But we'll get the quiz going, because if I start that story, I'll still rambling about it in about 40 minutes. Copy link address. Find the thingy majiggery. Post it there. Pardon me. That is the link to quiz if you want to. Wow, how is there already 31 players in there? That can't be right. Oh, that must be from last week. I don't know. I've got a bit of frog in my throat. Right, let me see where we're at. The chat, I'm miles behind already. My favourite question was who would win in a fight between a shark and a gorilla. Yeah. I did a similar talk for an animal husbandry for B-Tech Street. I think that's what this was. And I did not get any of them interested in aquariums. Well, at the end of the day, I got some questions that were good about aquariums and about how to start and what would be a good route into the hobby, and some quite incisive questions, insightful questions even, to match the weird and wonderful questions. But we did a quiz at the end, so I made like a quiz. Well, of course I'm going to make a quiz. I made a quiz for them at the end, with questions that had covered all the topics that I had covered when I had done the talk, so we could see whether or not they learned from it. And yeah, they did alright about it. So after you finished, did they A, know anything about it, and B, so yeah, exactly, that was it. So I think they did learn a little bit. There were some kids there who were not interested, were not going to be interested, and could not be convinced to be interested. There were some that started that way and got a little bit more interested, because I tried to make it as fun as possible, like showing them the mega tank with the big fish in it, and talking about how I had a fish called Humphrey who used to take chunks out of my hand and all that kind of stuff. Showing them puffer fish and what happens to a puffer fish. Yeah, so I think there was a mix. I think for some kids it was already a boring day, and I did not make it any less boring. And for some, they had a little bit of interest. I don't think I was ever going to be like, wow, that was amazing, can we get that guy back in again? So I think it was, yes, I think it was a successful talk, as Chuckler says. Join Rebecca and have a meet up across the pond. Yeah, well, we'll need a significant uplift in the memberships if I'm going to go across the pond for that meet up. Viewer visits with videos, maybe. Yeah, well, that was one of the things I wanted to start this year, where I said I'm going to get out more and do that kind of thing. So, you offering? You might be the ideal candidate for a viewer visit. But yeah, viewer visits. I stopped doing things like, I stopped doing shop visits and that kind of stuff. I'll probably start doing that again. But I stopped doing them because I didn't find them interesting, but people really did. So I'm more open to finding the balance between what the audience likes and what I like. I like going to shops because I like having a look, and that's fine. And if it's just me filming it as well, that's fine. But I always felt that that was a crappy video because it would just be me going, there's that tank, there's another tank, there's another tank. I liked it when I could go with Callum and Reese and Fishman, where we could have a bit of a laugh in the shop while still showing off the shop. We could do a bit of a deeper dive into, why are you bringing these fish in and not that fish? Why? How does this work? What's your quarantine? All that kind of stuff. When I went to Sustainable Aquatics, there was going to be a thing where they sunk loads of money into this, and in the end they decided they didn't want to do it, but we were going to go through their filtration setup for their shop, because it's an old video. I'd love to go back there again, actually, but it's an old video where the shop is basically, they've got tanks around the outside and they've got tanks around like in a central column on the inside, and all the filtration is within that central column, and it was quite intricate how it all works, and pipes coming and floats and everything, and they were really proud of it, and it looked really cool, and we were going to do a big video all about that. And then they thought, maybe people will copy this, so we don't really want you to do that, which I kind of understood, but I was a bit gutted about, because I thought that would have actually made an interesting video, because you could have taken things from that. It was way overkill for anything you'd have in the house, probably, but you could take bits from that and go, yeah, well, it was all about slightly different ways to do the in terms of like multi-tank filtration, which I thought it was interesting. So that kind of thing I thought would be good. But yeah, visiting people, visiting shops or events, you have to get into that kind of thing. Adam7, hello, how we doing? Hasn't he started back up? What, the mixed fish? Yeah, I think he has started. I saw something about him. He wasn't very well or something. I know he's downsized a lot. Yeah, not on the same level. He had some health issues, and some people were not helpful to his views. Right, 21:28. We've got 2 minutes before we start the quiz. I've no idea how many people are in there. I shall post the link again, just in case you've just turned up. There you go. Silver Creek, nice to see you. How are we doing? Had a local keeper come by and get some shrimp and mollies from me. Very nice. Adam says, I've just visited DJA Aquatics and done a tour. It was great to see an insight into a breeder's mind and setups. Yeah, that kind of thing's really good. When you get to talk to people. So again, one of my most popular videos for a long time in my channel was going to see my discus specialist. He wasn't, although he did breed discus, he imported more discus than he bred. And I think even when I was a very small channel, like way less subscribers, like 5,000 subscribers or something, I got a video with 100,000 views on it by going to see him. Because, and it was that was the kind of pinnacle for me, where I was like, this is a video that I find interesting and I would like to watch, and I got to make. I was like, yay, all these things worked. Whereas just going to a Maidenhead Aquatics and going, oh, that's that fish, oh, there's that fish, oh, there's that fish. as much as I would have enjoyed that, it's not the kind of video I would like to watch, because I could just go to a Maidenhead Aquatics. Not everyone has a discus breeder local that they can go and see all that kind of stuff. But people love fish shop tours. I don't get it. Who knows? Aquatics Live, is that what it's called? The Telford thing? Let me just check that. Yeah, I don't know. Or was that the old one that used to shut down? Is that how far behind I am? Right, sorry. Skipping, because it's 21:30. If anyone has said anything really insightful and I've missed it, I apologise. Say it again after the quiz. Keith KJ's popping in real quick to say hi. How are you doing, Keith? Hope you're doing well. I saw Mike's video. I hope everything is as good as it can be. Let's leave it at that. Sorry, I'm so far behind. Aquatics Live was 2011-12. Yeah, that was the old one. Sorry. Right, are we ready? We've talked about what's involved in the quiz, so quick reminder. 20 questions, question 10 and 20, wager your points, tally at the end of the month. They're all multiple choice, use the same name, correct answers whatever I say it is. Got that? Good. Let's go to Little Face, and we will start the countdown. So we've got 30 seconds to get things going. Anytime you want to come and visit the north of Sweden, you're more than welcome to come visit. Do you know what? I'd love to do that. Visit me, I'll get you drunk and feed you to the fish. Question 1. What type of floppy-eared animal is a Scottish fold? Is it a cat, a sheep, a rabbit, or a cow? That, of course, is a Scottish unicorn. So far, the answers were going for rabbit, it seems. 5 for cat, 4 for sheep, 7 for rabbit, and 1 coo. That was the clue there. If I'd called it a coo, it might have been cow. Because Scotland doesn't have any cows, they only have coos. Anyway, the correct answer is a cat. It's the... Let me show you the... It's those ones with the Scottish fold. There you go. Mona Lee was fastest off the mouse trigger with 86 points, closely followed by Laurie Carey Day with 85, and a cat question. Of course, June's going to get that one right with 80 points. Stevie P and Shrimple, another cat lady, bringing up 4th and 5th place. And on to question 2. Which period is known for the significant diversification of fish, often referred to as the Age of Fishes? Is it the Ordovician, the Cambrian, the Devonian, or the Permian? Ordovician, Cambrian, Devonian, or Permian period? I think I need to do a bit of a trim. Okay, we've got Cambrian and Devonian, and nobody thinks it's Ordovician. Well, one person, sorry. The correct answer is Devonian. That takes Rebecca into the lead, but don't worry everyone, Rebecca refuses to wager all her points, so there's always going to be a chance to catch up later. See, science questions. Well done Zenny, well done Liv, and Shadow. Question 3. What is the purpose of using CO2 injection in a planted aquarium? Is it to stabilise pH, to enhance plant growth, to encourage fish breeding, or to clarify the water? What do we think? I think almost everyone is going for the same answer. Everyone going for enhancing plant growth. Well done, everyone. See, there are easy ones every now and again. If you want a hard quiz, tune in tomorrow night, Saturday. Andrew from Aquarium Daily is making a play for the hardest quiz on FishTube. Last week's quiz that he ran was solid. I can only imagine Mickey is timed out or had some technical issues. Everyone else did it. So we've still got the same 1, 2, 3. And on to question 4. What kind of nut is in Nutella? Is it pecan, almond, hazelnut, or praline? Which technically isn't a nut. There you go, there's a clue for you. Where's the music gone? Dun, 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 dun. Again, 100% people going for hazelnut. Because it's hazelnut. I went to an in-person pub quiz last night, where they do the pub quiz followed by bingo. And they do bingo for a line and bingo for a house. And I think we walked out with over 100 quid because we won all of them. So there are some questions from that pub quiz. So if you happen to be in the Nag's Head last night, you might get some of these answers. Question 5. Braga is the oldest city in which country? Spain, Italy, Portugal, or Belgium? Braga is the oldest city in which country? I think that sounds Spanish, or Italian, or Portuguese, or Belgian. Braga. Okay, most people are saying Portugal, a couple for Belgium and Spain, and nobody for Italy. Braga. It's Portugal. Congratulations, those people. Stevie P up to 2nd, Shrimple up to 3rd, Shadows up to 4th, and the rest of you hopefully can see where you're at. Ready for question 6. Will I top up my beer? What fish can change sex during its lifetime? To clarify, I don't mean at the start of its lifetime. Is it a goldfish, a guppy, a clownfish, or a seahorse? Live answers are... almost everyone going for clownfish, because that is the correct answer. So some of them, like a goldfish for instance, or a guppy, during gestation can change sex with things like changes to water chemistry or temperature, specific parameters, acidity, etc. can change it from one to the other, but not once they're born. Whereas a clownfish, which was one of my things that I said in my talk to the school children about how Finding Nemo in real life would have been a very different film. Nemo's dad would have just turned into Nemo's mum and had sex with Nemo and had a bunch more Nemos, which would be a very different film. Laurie Carriday still in the lead by almost 100 points from Stevie P. Sleeping Beauty making a comeback. Sleeping Beauty is doing well. Who is Sleeping Beauty? Did we ever find this out? Question 7. Which country represented at Euro 24 has the most streams on Spotify of their national anthem? That's meant to say national anthem. Whose national anthem has the most streams on Spotify? Is it England, Italy, Netherlands, or Scotland? Am I trying to trap you with that picture? Or am I just insanely patriotic? So, it's very close between England and Scotland. A couple for Italy, one for Netherlands. It is, of course, Scotland. By quite a margin. I think that England are 4th. Netherlands are 7th or something like that. Italy is quite high up. But yes, Scotland has the most streams of Flower of Scotland. Question 8, if we're ready. Oh no, we'll show you the top. Oh, Rebecca missed one, but still retains the lead. Here we go with question 8. Which evolutionary development allowed fish to exploit new ecological niches and led to the vast diversity seen in modern fish species? Which is, I know, a lot of reading. But was it the evolution of jaws, the development of the skeleton, development of the lateral line, or the appearance of scales? Which of those allowed fish to exploit new ecological niches, leading to the vast diversity? And you'll notice I said the word niches there, not niches, because that's not how you say it. It's niche, not niche. All Americans, stop saying niche. It's not how you say it. Apologies for my xenophobia there. Most people going for the development of the lateral line, when in fact it was the evolution of jaws. I can hear Rebecca, if she hasn't answered this correctly, furiously typing away of all the reasons that I'm wrong there. But I did research it, and she got it right. Yes, it was the evolution of jaws that started the diversity and the offshoots. So well done, June, Rebecca, and 2 other people. Shrimple and Shadow. You got that one right. Question 9. Cabbage, Damask, Mr. Lincoln, and Buff Beauty are types of what? Caterpillars, Jean-Claude Van Damme films, Barbie dolls, or roses? Cabbage, Damask, Mr. Lincoln, and Buff Beauty are types of what? Caterpillars, Jean-Claude Van Damme films, Barbie dolls, or roses? It's kind of split between caterpillars and roses. It is, in fact, roses. June, Zenny getting that one correct, taking them into the top 3. Shadow moving up to 5. And now we come to our first wager round. So remember, you get to bet as many as you want. You can bet 50%, 20%. It will offer you 25, 50, 100, but you can type in whatever you want in there. If you bet nothing, you gain nothing, even if you get it right. So you should bet something. So here we go. Oh no, I forgot to pick. Oh no, I didn't make it a wagering question. I'm an idiot. West Side Story is set in which city? Why did that not say that as a wagering question? Is it Seattle, Boston, Chicago, or New York? Okay, well, so I've introduced a bit of variance. West Side Story is set in which city? Most of you going for New York, and that is correct. June going into first place after Zenny and Rebecca down into third. Now, just bear with me a second till I figure out what I've done with my wagering questions. No. Okay, here you go. Question 11. I need to pause it. That's what I need to do, isn't it? Okay. Question 11. What aquarium plant is used to make a carpet of plants? Is it an Amazon sword, an Anubias, Monte Carlo, or Java fern? Which of them is used to make a carpet? Stevie P would have lost everything, so he's quite happy that that one wasn't a wagering question. Oh, everyone going for Monte Carlo. Because it is Monte Carlo. Everyone getting that right, so nothing changes unless someone got it right faster than someone else. I'm just going to pause the game while I look around a bit. Hopefully I've paused it. And I can just check. Nope, I've not paused it. I'm an idiot. Question 12. What fish is known for its ability to walk on land and breathe air? No one can answer that. I think I've broken things. There you go. I'll start the question. You've all had time to think about it. Which fish is known for its ability to walk on land and breathe air? Parrotfish, mudskipper, archerfish, or flying fish? Yeah, I paused it, which I thought meant we'd pause the whole game and I could look at the questions. Turns out that's not the case. So this will be interesting as to which questions, if any, have a wagering system on them. But for this question, everyone's gone for mudskipper, and everyone's correct, so that's not going to do much to the top of the leaderboard. So we'll crack straight on to question 13. Right, at any point, one of these could turn out to be one of the wagering questions, or maybe none of them. I just don't know. Question 13. Who invented the game bingo? Was it Canadians, Australians, Italians, or Scottish people? Or was it Andrew from Aquarium Daily? Seven for Scottish, because Scottish people did invent a lot of things, but unfortunately bingo was not one of them. It was the Italians. In something like 1530, the Italians started a lottery, which is what turned into what we now know as bingo. So it was a long time indeed. Right, question 14. Which country holds the Formula 1 Grand Prix races at the Albert Park Grand Prix circuit? Is it Australia, Mexico, Canada, or Abu Dhabi? I like saying Abu Dhabi, but it's not Abu Dhabi. Just to give you a bit of a clue. Sorry to those 3 people who have already voted for Abu Dhabi. 6 going for Australia, 7 for Canada, 4 for Abu Dhabi. What the crap are these questions? Look, there are some fishy ones, some science ones. Just deal with it. The correct answer is Australia. Well done, 6 people. Juggler making a claim for the top spot. He's in equal first with June, but June, for already being first, I gets to retain that. Sleeping Beauty got that right. Botty McBotty, Shrimple, Shadow, Mona Lee all got that one right. Question 15, we crack on. Which US state has the state motto, North to the Future? There you go, there's one for the Americans. The most trivial of trivia questions ever. And I like to have a broad brush and cover lots of different options. There must be a way that I can stop this quiz. I want to make sure the last question at least has got the wagering on. Show live answers. So we've got a bit of a split between North Dakota, but most people going for Alaska. because it's Alaska. So I was trying to throw you by including a state with the word north in it, but Alaska being the most northernly state, I guess that makes sense. June back on top for answering it faster than Juggler. Botty McBotty and Rebecca making up 3 and 4. Now, do you think if I stop, it'll actually finish the game? Now, so it will do that. I don't want to do that. I want to look at question 20 and see whether or not it's got... I don't know how to do it though. Oh, decisions. We're going to crack on. I have hide my screen, but if I hide my screen, I fear that if I click question 20, it'll start question 20, and I don't want to do that. Oh, hang on. Andrew's messaged me. I am in to help. I have paused it. It's okay to hide your screen. Tension's building. I have hidden my screen. He's doing something. It says paused on the participant screens. Good. I can now look at 20. Okay, I can look at 20. It started 20 though. Has it? What question were we on? Grand Prix? USA? Right, I think I've changed it to a wagering question on the last question, so okay, we've got that. Professional. I've only done 160 something of these. Right, are we ready? Little face, question number 16. Which fictional bear lived in the village of Nutwood? Which fictional bear lived in Nutwood? Was it Bungle, Yogi Bear, Rupert the Bear, or Paddington? And people seem to be answering, so that's good. Whew, thank you, Andrew. Everyone, for that, go and subscribe to Aquarium Daily. Stick a link in chat, somebody. While we look at the answers, the live answers, a bit of a split between Paddington and Rupert the Bear. A couple of Yogi Bears. Didn't Yogi Bear live in Jellystone Park? Bungle the Bear. Who went with Bungle? The answer is Rupert the Bear. Pardon me. Right, question 17. Here we go. The king has 2 birthdays. One was celebrated on Saturday. When is the other? Is it February, December, January, or November? Thank you, Mandy. Aquarium Daily channel. It's got a link in there. Check him out for helping out. So, when's the king's real birthday? He looks like a Pisces. 2 birthdays. So, quite the split. February and November being... So, he has 2 birthdays. And I must admit, until today, I did not know why. I know the Queen has always had 2 birthdays, the King has 2 birthdays, and the reason is there was an agreement made many, many years ago between all the Commonwealth countries as to when they had the best weather. So they wanted to give everybody a holiday for the Queen, King, whatever's birthday. Give them all a day off, and they wanted them to have nice weather when they would have that day off. And all the countries in the Commonwealth that the King or Queen's meant to rule over, they all decided that mid-June was about the best time where they would have the best weather, so that's when we would celebrate the birthday. But then their actual birthday would be whenever it is. And in this case, his actual birthday is in November. Which Juggler, Liv and Botty McBotty all knew, and Laurie Carriday and did not know. So June and Rebecca slipping out of the top 3. Question 18. Which suit in cards has the Suicide King, the only king without a moustache? This question I unashamedly ripped off from Adam Siven's Fish Tanks Discord server. That somebody posted that in there. So yes, I stole this question. So it's called the Suicide King because he's holding a sword against his head and he doesn't have a moustache. Is it the King of Clubs, Hearts, Diamonds or Spades? You all thought it was Hearts because it was Hearts. Well done, those people. Juggler and June both got that one right. Zenny got it. Poppy Dave, Texas Tom, Carter all got that one right. Stevie P got it as well as Shadow. So, penultimate question, question 19. What fruit is this? Is it a plum, a banana, a nectarine or a peach? You say my questions are too hard. Oh, I guess they are, because at least 10 of you have got it wrong. We've got a split between nectarines and peach for second place, but 7 sensible people said it was a plum, because it's a plum. Right, now we have a wagering question, hopefully. Well, Juggler was one of the ones that got it wrong. June takes it up to second with 90 points, so there's not a lot separating the top kind of 15, 16 people. In fact, anybody, you bet all your points and someone else gets it wrong, you can win. Are we ready? Question 20. Wager your points. Go big or go home. What do we think? Which Mr. Men character is this? Is it Mr. Strong, Mr. Clever, Mr. Happy, or Mr. Perfect? Do we know? I tried to make it ungoogleable because you can't Google a picture quickly. I'm assuming Mr. Men is international. Have I made a horrific mistake and all the non-British people going, the what? The who? The why? Mr. Men are international. Yeah? Otherwise, I'm very sorry. It was, of course, Mr. Strong. You've heard Mr. Men? No? Okay, we've got lots of what is Mr. Men. Oh, I'm very sorry. I thought everybody knew what a Mr. Man was. Well, 10 of you were right because it is Mr. Strong. So let's see what that did to the scores. I'm so sorry. In third place, Botty McBotty with 1784. Liv in second place with 1806. And Juggler. Look, it's Juggler again, everybody. Yay! Juggler with 2,110 points, taking quite the victory over Liv. But some good scores there. Some good scores from everybody in the top 10 there, I think. Rebecca risked it all and got nothing. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, we've been taunting Rebecca all day that you have to bet everything. And she's going, no, I don't want to bet everything because I'll lose it all. And she's done it again. Oh, God, I'm so sorry. But you're from the UK, you know the Mr. Men. We know what the Mr. Men is, don't we? These guys, Mr. Tickle, Mr. Greedy, Mr. Happy, Mr. Nosy, Mr. Bump, Mr. Sneeze, Mr. Noisy, Mr. Daydream. Yeah, you know them. These were books you used to read as a kid, basically. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Okay, let's do the export, and we will see how that has affected the ratings and the rankings. So Jack's missing out. I'm doing live spreadsheeting. Copy that. Get rid of that. Don't save. Whatever. Week 3, put that in there. Why is it not pasting? Oh, for God's sake. Live spreadsheeting's gone wrong. Move that over. Delete that. There we go. Go back to June. Juggler is still in first place. Sleeping Beauty, I think, has stepped up to second place, though, ahead of Stevie P and JT, because he didn't play, because he didn't turn up. Didn't even co-host. Botty McBotty, Laurie Carey Day, Mona Lee Zenny still in the top 10. Aquarium Shed moves into the top 10, and Shadow moves into the top 10. Well done, everybody. We've got how many? Is next week the last week? Yes, next week is the last week. Next week is my mum's birthday as well. Remind me, everyone, I have to say good happy birthday. One more week to go then, and then we'll see who wins. But someone is going to have to knock out Juggler. She's going on 1,500 points in the lead, pretty much 1,600 points. Well done, everybody that played, and a hearty well done to the Quizbot Juggler. Lisa nearly rage quit. We had 2 seasons in America starting in 2000. Oh, so you did have the Mr. Men. Oh, did you have the cartoon? Ah, right. We had books and cartoons. Brian's at the bottom, wants an Aquarium Adventures. I should look into like that. Yeah. I did, you're right, Scott. I removed it from my clipboard. Live unspreadsheeting. Yes. I'm looking forward to answering between 1 and 3 questions on the Eliminator. I think I've made the Eliminator not quite as hard this week. For those of you who are new, the Eliminator is my second quiz. There are only 10 questions, but as the name would suggest, it's an Eliminator. If you get a question wrong, you're out. They start easy and they get more and more difficult. But I've tested this on my wife and she got all the questions correct. So, you know, are you smarter than my wife, I guess is the question. I hope she's not watching when I say that. Oh, there he is. He's late. He's watching the Dutch match. It was a draw. Oh, yeah, I watched the first half. It was not fun. You've lost out. You've lost ground, Jack. Even did some live spreadsheeting and you missed out on it. You're now in 4th place. Not quite. I don't think there's any UK specific questions in the Eliminator. I could be wrong. The Mr. Men reference reminded me of the Poddington Peas for some reason. Oh, there's a name I've not heard for a long time. The Poddington... Why did I recognise Poddington Peas, and I have zero reason why. What the hell is the Poddington Peas? I know. I don't think I ever watched the Poddington Peas. Oh no, I do. I remember this. Sorry, let's just show you what I'm talking about. So this is the Poddington Peas. That guy there. That's the only thing I remember of the Poddington Peas, was the kind of devil guy, him. But I'd forgotten I knew what that was, if that makes sense. You might do a Rebecca next week, juggler. You're aiming high. Yes, gambling is risky. Well, but it also pays off well. Right, so what was I going to say? So we've got one more quiz to do, but I wanted to tell you about my talk that I did. We'll do a little bit of admin. God, the Euros are really killing my viewers. We've only got 35 viewers. Hopefully some more come in after the football's finished. Or maybe I'm no longer relevant. I've pissed off everyone with my quizzing. You don't have to join, super chat, any of that nonsense. Give us a like, give us a comment, say hello. Who is Sleeping Beauty? Let's see if we can figure that out. That'd be useful. Because you're in 2nd place, so you're eventually going to have to reveal yourself if you win, and I have to send you something. Say hello, give us a like, give us a hello. Footy's over, so they should all be rushing in then. This is not happening. For childhood TV, I was a Teletubbies kid. See, Teletubbies, I remember dressing up as a Teletubby when I was like 19, for like a fancy dress party. Me and 3 of my friends went as the Teletubbies. This is before I actually looked like one. That was a long time ago. It's all about the theme tune. Do I risk demonetizing the video? Well, there's only 30 people watching. Let's watch the theme tune.
Down at the bottom of the garden, among the birds and the bees, what a good idea. A little lot of little people, they call
the Paddington Peas.
There's creepy black-eyed bee and dumpy. Keep it a secret now, please. There's zippy, happy, and the sweet pea. Hello. And all the what's going on? There's creepy black-eyed bee and dumpy. Keep it a secret now, please.
This gives me an idea.
There's zippy, happy, and the sweet pea. And all the Paddington peas. The Paddington peas.
There you go. That is the Poddington Peas. A theme tune possibly only rivalled by I've immediately forgotten what it was. I want to say the Wurzels, but not the Wurzels. What is the... Uncle Bulgaria, he can remember the times when he wasn't behind the times. That one. Wombles. There we go. Thank you, Simon. Jesus. That's the best theme tune. Wombles of Wimbledon, common are we. Uncle Bulgaria. That was the best bit I liked. The whole of America is now going, are these guys on drugs? What's happening here? So, yeah, we will start the Eliminator in a wee bit. After I tell... So I'm going to surmise. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bore you all to tears with a summation of my talk that I did. So if you've just joined, this was a talk that I did for a local high school for some BTEC students who are like, what are they, late teens, mid-teens, and BTEC's kind of like a GCSE, A-level-y type age, but there was all kinds in there, because I think this was also the class that people got sent to when they had nothing better to do. I'm not going to do the whole talk because I was in there for a couple of hours, but basically it started off with a little bit. I was sat here, so this is what the students could see. It was me going, hello, I'm Graham, blah blah blah. I talked about how I was a fish keeper, and the whole premise of the hobby was fish keeping. So it was like an animal welfare thing, but it was a pets module, so they wanted to know about pets and how the responsibilities needed to be a pet keeper and what types of pets. So my shtick, or my thing that I was trying to do, was trying to make a case for fish. Why are fish the best pets? So we started off talking about, right, I've got a fish room, this is really just my garage, I've just got a bunch of fish tanks in here, I've got about 30 tanks, most of my fish are in the fish room, blah blah blah. Pardon me. And I talked about if you're going to be nerdy about fish, this is about as nerdy as you can get. Getting a whole fish room, filling it full of tanks and filling it full of fish, and how I made YouTube videos talking about fish and talking about the hobby, and trying to get new people into the hobby and all that kind of stuff. So I wanted to make my case to them that fish were the ideal pet and why they were the ideal pet. So I'm going to talk about them, show them around all the fish tanks, do some feedings, talk about what differences between different fish and differences between different setups were there. But even though I love dogs, cats, lizards, whatever it might be, fish are best because you don't have to take them for a walk in the rain, and you don't have to pick up the shit and carry it home. I didn't say it exactly like that, but that was the premise that I was going with. So did a bit of a walk around, showed them all the tanks, talked about Mega Tank, talked about how there were big fish in there and they needed big filtration. I showed them the puffer fish and how that had to be kept in a tank on its own because it would eat all the other fish, so there was compatibility had to be considered. Showed the small fish and how you didn't need a big massive tank like Mega Tank, you could have a little cube and keep some nano fish. We did a bit of talking about aquascaping, we did a little, so I showed them all the things that we've got there. And then I tried to break it down into... So I came back to the desk and tried to do the whole, right, here's my case. I'm making my case. The benefits to mental and physical health. So how I sit here and do my proper job, and when I get a bit stressed out, all I have to do is turn around and it relaxes me. I can see my fish swimming around, I can see the water moving, the plant leaves, and it just chills you out. And how there's been studies that have been done that make sure that have shown that it lowers blood pressure, that it lowers cortisol, stress hormones, it elevates your mood, it can even increase your tolerance to pain, and how anything that can increase your mental health in such a stressful world, blah blah blah, is always good. That aesthetically it can be pleasing, so you'll have these in places like doctors' offices, airport lounges, dentists. Often stressful places will have aquariums because they have this kind of mellowing property where they can make things all better. But in your house, you can scape this however you want and have a lovely centerpiece, something for you to look at in your living room. It can be a piece of furniture, it can help you bring out your creative side, your artistic side. as well as your scientist side. So it's not just for people who are more minded of science. It can help your artsy creative side, because you can do stuff that are artsy and creative with it. It can be educational, and it is educational, and it's educational in a way that isn't go and read this book and study this thing and take this test. It's a hands-on way of learning things. You're in there, you're doing water tests, you're doing chemistry, you're learning about fish compatibility, you're doing ecology, you're doing all these things just by keeping fish. And it doesn't feel like learning, because it's just part of the hobby, and you just it's almost learning by osmosis, because it happens. It's been proven to improve focus. It instills senses of discipline and routine, which can be, again, helpful to your mental health state and all that kind of stuff. Teaches you about biodiversity, even conservation. So we talked a little bit about all the various, like the Freshwater Life Project and Project Piaba, and how it's not just about maintaining the habitats for the fish, but the humans that live in those regions and all that kind of stuff. I talked about all the weird things like the clownfish changing sex and how this is all weird. That even if you don't want to be an ichthyologist and be a proper scientist, you can still enjoy a hobby that teaches you things like patience and consistency and doing all your record keeping. Blah, blah, blah. So I talked about all these things, all the while showing them pictures and videos and having these and going around the fish room and all that kind of stuff. And then if none of that floats your boat, you can become an international superstar YouTuber like me, to a very, very small niche audience, and make YouTube channels and get involved in the community side of things, where you can join fish clubs, you can do this, that and the other and all that kind of stuff. And all the while they're asking questions here and there. The teacher was filtering most of the questions. I couldn't see the kids. So that was the number one thing, was I could not see the kids. Their camera wasn't working for some reason. So a lot of the time I was just rambling on, kind of like what I'm now. I can't see you at home. So I know fine well, because some people tell me, some of you are asleep because you've started watching this and nodded off. I think that was happening to some of the kids there, because that's what my wife said. She walked past the class as I was in the middle of some long-winded explanation about some technical element of filtration, and she looked at the class and just saw a bunch of kids like this. But crucially, there was a couple that were like, So anyway, that tickled me pink. I thought that was hilarious. So did all these talks, did all these chats, and then at the end opened it up to questions. And I think the first question I got was, what makes fish taste good? And I was a bit like, okay. Why is that a question after everything we've been talking about? Okay. The second question I got was, who would win in a fight between a shark and a crocodile? I think we also had shark and an octopus. But I was like, oh, okay. Depends. Shallow water crocodile, deep water shark. As if I'm like some kind of world expert on who would win in these things. So I got a bunch of questions that were like that. But there was actual questions like, how do I find out about my local fish club? Because I mentioned fish clubs and how they're trying to get young people especially into the hobby, and we'll often help them out with giving them plants, substrate, even fish, tanks, all that kind of stuff. So there's a few of them asking about that, and if you're on a budget, how to start a tank. So I was talking about like the videos that I've done about if you're trying to do it on a budget, these are the best places to go and get these things on a budget. What kind of fish to start with, what kind of fish breed the easiest, and there's some really like good insightful questions. So there was more of those questions than there was the daft ones, and the daft ones were just as fun, because I think that made it a little bit fun, where I could go, oh, all right, who would win between a gorilla and a shark? Oh, I don't know. So we had a bit of a chat about that. Made it difficult that I couldn't see them, and I think if I could have seen them, I could have realised, right, this part of this topic isn't floating any boats. Let's move on and go on to the next bit. It would have been very difficult to do that. But yeah, I liked the fact that I got a lot of questions about. There were clearly some kids who had no interest in fish who decided that they might be interested. There's clearly some fish, some kids who thought I might be interested, but I probably can't afford it, or it sounds too expensive, because there was a lot of questions about cost, how to get the cost into it, and that kind of thing. So that was it. And I expected more questions about the YouTube side of things than I did about the fish side of things, but I only got a few questions about the YouTube side of things, so I think it was a bit of a success. So that was my experience of doing a talk. I think I'm going to do another one. I'll probably get I've been asked to do another talk at my local fish club, the SVAS, about the YouTube and the trying how the, what was it they phrased that as, how to get more people into the hobby. And I think kids is obviously the way you do that, by inspiring and all that kind of stuff. But I've got kind of a half-written script about YouTubers. Why are we YouTubers? Like, for instance, the King of DIY. If you look at his channel, it's what is it? I'm going to have to look it up now, because it's all about yeah, that's it. Education and inspiration. Aquarium, education and inspiration. And then a little bit of spiel about how he's devoting his life to educating and inspiring about aquariums. He's devoting his life to earning a living, because that's what it's all about. People who are educating and inspiring don't care about the things you have to do to be good at YouTube. So there's a little bit of disparity there. He will be inspiring people to get into the aquarium hobby. He will be educating, because a broken clock's right twice a day. So some of the things that he says are going to be right, and some of the things he says are going to inspire someone to come in. And he does have a big audience, and that is the case. There are lots of more focused or specific people who are doing more and better things, but for a lot smaller audience. So you can argue all day whether you need to do some stupid things to get the audience, and then if you're not doing the stupid things, the audience doesn't come to you, so they don't learn from it. So there's going to be a happy balance somewhere along that line, and that's probably going to be the talk about doing at the fish club. Will be more about, is YouTube good or is it bad? So it'll be, is it a good thing, is it a bad thing, where do we draw the line, what helps, what hurts? And I've started to put together a kind of script, or not even a script, I was just talking points of things to talk about there, because I think I talked to a class of 30 odd kids, 3 or 4 of them might be interested. That sounds pathetic, but in terms of conversions per capita, that's pretty good. So does that mean if I talk to 300 kids, I get 30 of them? Have I got a 10% conversion rate of getting people interested in the hobby? Because I guarantee you, Joey with his 1 million subscribers isn't getting 100,000 people into the hobby. So is that what we do? Do we try and make people who have a more focused responsibility, like a fish club, do we try and make them better at being visible, so as they can draw in the new people and educate them better, and actually be interested in educating and inspiring, rather than just saying that so as you get more viewers and more money? Because what would a club whose focus is to grow the hobby do with the funds that come in? They would give away tanks, they would give away fish, they would help write books, they would fund people speaking and fund events, because it's a club that's been run as a non-profit for all that kind of stuff. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do a talk about, and if I ever get around to actually finishing it, that's kind of where I was going with it. So I hope that kind of makes sense, and I realise I've been waffling now, and there's probably got loads of content there. Here's the other thing: fish societies and young people or women. that is the massive gap. Yeah, and I have noticed in the small time that I have been around, there's always been young people, but I have noticed more and more women coming into it, and I've noticed a change in, because I remember the times in the fish shop where, or even the fish societies or the old forums where people are like that, but it's just a woman asking a question, but, and dismissed. And I think you even talked about the way you'd be treated in shops and things like that, where if you went in with your boyfriend, they would talk to him and not you, and that shit really bothers me. I don't know why, because I'm not a woman, but it does annoy me. I've noticed it getting better, so I've noticed more, and I think Facebook, I think YouTube is a good thing for that. So the more and more channels we have fronted by women that aren't purely being, do you remember, what was that guy's name, Mr. Saltwater Tank TV or Mr. T? It was called Mr. Saltwater or something like that, where he got his girlfriend to present every video, and they were basically pretending that she was the person that was into fish keeping, and it just so happened that she was a gorgeous young blonde lady, and it ended up it was another guy that was actually behind it. He was writing her a script. They were his fish tanks, they were his fish. She had no interest whatsoever. It was more about, just putting this model basically up front to talk about fish. And he was getting loads of views, and then they broke up. And he had to make a video going, do you know what? That wasn't me. That was my girlfriend. But it was me that was writing all the stuff, so I still have all the knowledge. And then it was Prestige Reef, I think it was. Went on to change it to, and he was still successful and all that. But that, I was so pissed off with that. I was thinking, you've exploited her for her looks in the first place to get your audience together, and now you're begging them to stay with you because it's just you. That's everything that's wrong, in my opinion. Whereas nowadays, I think we're getting more and more women, young guys, young girls getting involved in it, where it's definitely not exploitative, and a lot more. It doesn't happen so much with the kids, of course, but I would always encourage younger people who you could tell they were at school when they were leaving comments or whatever, or you could tell they were in that kind of age. I'd be desperate to encourage them, because I thought that's who we want in the hobby. That's who's going to be here in 20 years' time. If we get them into it now, they'll do it. And there just weren't any women or girls. Now there are more girls, and now there are more women. So there are lots of female-fronted aquarium channels. There's lots of females I see in Facebook groups asking questions, giving answers. Not even just asking. They're not even new. There's some of the more experienced ones are women now. And that's all moving in the right direction. And I've probably missed loads of comments about all the women going, that's not true anymore, that's just not the thing. I hope it is, because it should be getting better. Anyway, are we ready to do the quiz? Yeah, like me, woohoo, yes, you are special, Jack. There are not many 17-year-olds who have the gumption, not even the gumption, who have the time, because you're doing exams. This is a very busy and important time for someone your age, because the rest of your life, what you do in the next couple of years, has a big impact on what happens for you for the rest of your life. I don't mean to say that to stress you out, because whatever happens, you can always fix it and it's fine, but you need to spend a lot of time on your education, because that's what's important right now. But the fact that you're doing that and still running a small business, doing YouTube, coming on live streams, hosting your own live streams, all the effort you're going to, they are all commendable things. So yes, it does mean you're special in the nicest possible way. Bubbling Fins, hello! Stevie P says he wants to be an elderly gatekeeper of knowledge when you grow up. Yeah. hearing you speak, we should chat about the reason my channel is called Aquarium Shed. Well, yeah, maybe we should. We should have a bit of a collab. The initial idea was a grand plan was always how we could create a fish keeping social enterprise, akin to men's sheds but not gendered. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, and yeah, that is a good positive thing. That's kind of what I'm getting at, is that a lot of, I don't mean to tar all YouTubers with this, but a lot of YouTube is about me. Look at me. Look at what I'm doing. Look how great I am. And I do that as well, probably, because it's monetized. So there's a goal that one day this might pay for your hobby. That's your kind of first hope. Then one day it might pay for your job. So imagine you could do YouTube imagine you could do your hobby for a job. That's like, it's the goal, it's the dream, isn't it? And if all you have to do is sell your soul to the devil a little bit, I'll do it. So I've talked about this countless times, where I don't like doing clickbaity titles and clickbaity thumbnails, but you kind of have to. It's not even it's not a decision anymore. You could think, oh, I'm just not going to do it, and well, fine, nobody will watch your video then. So it does feel a little bit dirty sometimes when you're like, ugh. Like when I have to, at the start of this I was saying, yeah, it'd be great if I could have more members. I'd love to have more members, but I could have just left it there, and a lot of people do, just saying, please subscribe and be a member. I need to give you a reason to be a member, because it feels dirty if I just say, please give me your money for no reason whatsoever. So I have to give something back for it. There has to be an exchange of that, whereas a lot of YouTube is just about, look at me, make me bigger, pay me, let me do the thing I want to do. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to do that, but at the end of the day, you're not doing it for the reasons so Joey is not doing it to educate and inspire. Joey is doing it to pay the bills, to keep his kids fed. There's nothing wrong with that, but when you present it as one thing and you do it as another thing, it's very different. I'm in a very unique and privileged position, I must admit, and it is a privilege where I could get up today, I could get up tomorrow, and it would make no difference to my life whatsoever. I have a very good job that already pays the bills. I do not need this to do this. I'd love it to take over and not have to do my job, because it's horrible and stressful and all the bad things that, I'd love to be able to make the same amount of money just doing this. And it's not like I've made a conscious decision not to side with the devil and make clickbait thumbnails, and because I don't have to, I would tell you now, I would do it. If I knew it was going to work, I would do it every day, because I already do it and it doesn't work that much. I don't have what it takes to be a 2 million subscriber channel with tens of thousands of views coming in all the time. If I knew what that secret sauce was, I would be doing it, and I wouldn't be saying things like this. So I know I'm in a privileged position where I can critique and criticise people who are doing that thing. But yeah, I'd probably happily swap with them if it was there. But the point I'm trying to make is, as much as they will bring people into the hobby, and if we're doing this because we like this hobby, and we do, because you wouldn't be watching this if you didn't like this hobby, if that is the reason for doing it, the best way to get that return on investment isn't to be the next king of DIY. It's to get that level of exposure to a person, a body, a group, whoever it is that can grow that. It's your JT keeping fishies who are young, it's your Rebeccas who are doing the proper academic research into the subject, it's your local fish clubs who are people who are going out of their way and making time in their busy days to put on events, to put on shows, to put on auction, to put on talks. The fact that they're asking people to go and do talks, and sometimes they're paying them to do these things. These are not money-making machines, but if getting them the amount of exposure some of us can achieve makes them some money, which then pays for that, which then makes them even better at it. You see, and it grows and it grows and it grows. That could be the way. So I think I've talked nonsense for long enough now. I was going to do the quiz, wasn't I? Let's do the quiz, because it's 10:30. We've not done the Eliminator. So as a reminder, the Eliminator, 10 questions. Got it there. I'll copy that link. Stick link in chat. If you want to join the Eliminator. Going to add some grey hair to my hair and wear a lab coat. You know what, Stephen, you're 40 soon. That'll come on its own. And wear a lab coat in my videos from now on. Do you know what? From all I've said there is a good reason just to be entertaining. Sometimes you don't want to watch a video where someone's stuffing information down your throat. Sometimes you want to go, haha, that's fun, or whatever it might be. So although I went a bit of a rant about educating and inspiring and all that kind of stuff, it's the balance, isn't it? It has to be something that's got something about it that will make people watch it and make it useful. So that's why personalities do well. So that's why Joy and all those kind of people do well, is because they make it big, exciting, fast moving, fast paced, whatever it is. The way that they do it is fine. People enjoy it. They clearly enjoy it. Hundreds of thousands of people watch those things. Hundreds of thousands of people don't watch my stuff. So I am no position to say any of these things. And it's not to say that they're not enjoyable either sometimes. And like I say, a Broken Clock is right twice a day, so there is good stuff in there. I like to think that if I had that level of pull, I would do more. But would I? I don't know. It's easy to say when you're from my point. Yeah, as Brian says, sometimes he likes to watch me sleep. It's worth considering whether the women who do choose to use their body as clickbait do it because they find it easy to get attention, or because they find it's the only way to get noticed. Yeah, I guess that is a distinction that is very hard to determine which side of it is, and even if either one of them is wrong. I mean, if I was built like, I don't know, an MMA fighter, I'd have my top off all the time while I was cleaning my tanks, hoping the women would be coming in. I wouldn't be bothered that some of them were only coming to look at me. I realised that the tables were turned. A lot of women wouldn't feel that that was something that they wanted, but some of them would. I think you have to put some of that back on the... It's empowering for a woman to be able to choose whatever she wants to do. The person that's wrong is the person that's only there because... Do you know? If you're there because... If someone happens to be good looking, but you're interested in what they're talking about and what they're doing, and she happens to be good looking, am I not allowed to watch now because they're pretty? Do you know what I mean? It's one of those, like, oh god, I feel uncomfortable now, so maybe I shouldn't watch. That's not useful either. I don't know where we draw the line. Yeah, Prestige Reef, that was it. And the only reason I found out about that was, do you remember there used to be a show called Take Me Out with Paddy McGuinness, where a bunch of guys or a bunch of girls would line up and there'd be one potential boyfriend or girlfriend, and they'd ask them questions and all that. And she turned up on that, and I was like, oh, that's a bit strange, why is she on that? And then like the week later, he had to make the video going, oh, I'm terribly sorry everyone, I've been lying to you. So the out and out lying annoyed me, but you know what? He made a decision, he did a thing, and what it is. Hey, Jack's off. We got rid of him before the eliminator, and he didn't ask me to send him a prize, so even more of a bonus. Right, are we ready? Have we got some people in? Are we ready for the no lighty, no likey? That was the one. Are we ready for doing the quiz? This is the eliminator. We'll start the countdown. Question number 1. Who starred in Double Impact, Universal Soldier and Time Cop? Is it Kevin Costner, Sean Connery, Brad Pitt or Jean-Claude Van Damme? Hopefully you all got that one right. And you did. Well done, everyone. Oh, 14 people got eliminated. Were you too slow? Oh, hang on, right. We'll start again. Because we're rolling on the first question. Yeah, whatever. Reset. Clear responses. Right. Are you all still in? Is it giving you a different code? Let me copy that link. Just in case it's a different code. I can't remember what the old code was. TYDML. So we should still be in. And you should all know the answer to this one as well. So, let's go. We could have just skipped that, can we? Skip the countdown. Right, you're in. 15 seconds. Go. Quick. Go. Go. Who starred in Double Impact, Universal Soldier and Time Cop? Was it Kevin Costner, Sean Connery, Brad Pitt or Jean-Claude Van Damme? It was, in fact, Jean-Claude Van Damme. Well done, 15 people. So we should still have 15 people in. Yay, that's more like it. Right. Oh, have we lost Pure and Shrimple? Have we lost you already? I'm going to have to assume you got lost because of time, because this is a very fast moving quiz. And we'll go on to question 2 in a second. Sorry to anyone that was eliminated. Who was eliminated? I can tell that. Rebecca was eliminated because she didn't know. Right, question 2. What does the summer solstice mark? The shortest day of the year, hottest day of the year, the longest day of the year, or the wettest day of the year? Remember, you have to answer quick. 3 people going for the shortest day of the year. That would be the winter solstice, because it's the longest day of the year. We have 12 people still in. If you see yourself in that list, well done, everyone. Question 3 coming up. What music festival starts next week, held at Worthy Farm? Is it Coachella, Download, Woodstock or Glastonbury? Or if you're American, Glastonbury. Woodstock. The 4 eliminated people, hang your head in shame. It was, of course, Glastonbury. Still got the Anonymous, Sleeping Beauty, Shadow, Ion, Aquarium Shed, Zenny, Elfish, Brian, and Stevie B. Ready for question 4. We're not even into the hard ones yet. I said this was going to be doable. What links John Bonham, Keith Moon, and Ringo Starr? Are they all scientists, actors, drummers, or sportsmen? Quick, answer quick. Most of you went for drummers, because they are drummers. John Bonham from Led Zeppelin, Keith Moon from The Who. I immediately forgot who Keith Moon was from, and Ringo Starr from, I can't remember, Beatles or something. Question. Still got a few in. 6 survivors. Ready for question 5? This is where it starts to get a bit hard. What's this image linked with? Monopoly, Pringles, Toblerone, or Shell Oil? Is that the Monopoly man? Is it the Pringles man? Does Toblerone even have a man? You all think it's Monopoly? Because it's Monopoly. Well done, everyone. So we should still have 6 survivors, and we do. Question 6, this is where they start to get a little bit tougher. How many humps does a llama have? None, 1, 2, or 3? Oh, we've only got 4 survivors this time. Did some people time out? No, they got the wrong. Llamas don't have humps. They have none. Stevie P, Zenny, Ion, and Sleeping Beauty are remaining survivors as we go into question 7. I'm starting to do the I need a pee dance. What does IQ stand for? Intellectual quota, intelligence quotient, intelligence quori, or idiot quite? We've got intelligence quotient with 5 answers. And that is correct. But only 3 survivors. Were 2 of you too slow? And we go on to question 8. What's the longest motorway in the UK for our surviving American players? I'm sorry. I did not mean that. Is it the M6, the M25 which circles London, the M4 which is London to Bristol or something, or the M1? The answer was quite spread, but the correct answer was the M6. We have 1 survivor. Sleeping Beauty is the last one in. 2 questions remaining. Zen's flipping tables. Here we go. What name is given to a cockerel that has been castrated to improve the quality of its flesh for food? Is it a cockless, a capon, a cocknil, or a cropper? Oh, we have a wrong answer. It was capon. There are no survivors. And the final question, well, I go for a pee. I'll be back in a second. Hello, as if I've never been away. Did we get an answer? The answer was 2.44 meters, 8 foot. So, oh, we've done that one. Stop. Finish. Nobody won. We go on to next week. Thank you, everyone. A bit out of breath after all that. Did we figure out who Sleeping Beauty was? Not my wife, is it? Because she was fast asleep when I went upstairs. Simon's Sleeping Beauty. Ah, I see. Zinja, is that what we're calling Mandy now? Did a Scottish rant. See, this is why I need a co-host. So if Jack hadn't gone to bed, we could have got someone else on. So then when I need to visit the little boy's room, someone else can take over. I'm just looking at all the... This is BS! I said M1! The M6 is definitely longer than the M1. By some margin as well. Does anybody know what the highest motorway in the UK is? Bonus point for that. The M6 is 236 miles, the M1 is 200 miles, so 36 miles longer. The M4 is 192. The M25, which is the London Circular, is only 117. ABC! Nice to see you. Glad you made it. Simon says the M62, Juggler says the M62, and you're both correct. There is a sign when you drive over the M62 that says you are now at the highest motorway in the entire UK. Right, where did we get to? How many people are we scared of? Oh, we've gained a few people. That's weird. So I did a bit of a rant. I didn't check any of those questions that we got, so apologies, my chat does not go back far enough now, so I can't see if anyone agreed or disagreed with me. So if you want to call me a twat and say how wrong I am about everything, now is your time, because I can read the comments for the next 5 minutes. Or if indeed you have any questions, get them in quick. Otherwise, in 5 minutes or so, we will hand over, because someone else is going to take over. I could have held it in an extra 10 minutes. I didn't realise that was the time. Sorry, everyone. I'm going to start streaming just so I can make decidedly American-centric quizzes and make sure to include lots of feet, inches and Fahrenheit questions so Graham feels like a dum-dum. Cam's in. Am I too late? No, you've been too late for the quizzes. We can do another quiz. Well, we could probably do the quiz that I did for... the quiz that I set for the kids. So you can all disagree with my questions there. Hang on, I'll open it up again. Sent items. Right. Let's see, does this work? Am I still streaming? Have I broken everything? So there you go. This is the last couple of minutes. This was the quiz that I set for the people I gave the talk to. Which fish is known for its ability to inflate itself as a defense mechanism? Whoever gets the answer in first, just type A, B, C or D. I said just type in A, B, C or D, and you've gone to the trouble of typing in pufferfish. So technically you are correct. Yes, Simon, well done. You won. 1 point to Simon, because the answer is indeed pufferfish. What's the primary function of a fish's gills? Is it digesting food, breathing underwater, sensing movement, or reproducing? B, breathing underwater. Rebecca gets a point. It is indeed breathing underwater. What fish is famous for its vibrant blue and yellow stripes? Is Cam just answering D to everything? Dennis got parrotfish. It was wrong because it's C, it's blue tang. I think Rebecca's got 2 points. There's 2-1 to Rebecca and then Simon. What kind of water do clownfish live in? Freshwater, saltwater, brackish, or frozen water? Lisa gets a point. They live in saltwater. See, Rebecca's too busy asking questions, so we've got Lisa and Simon on 1 point each, Rebecca on 2. Question 3, or whatever, I don't know what number I'm on. Which of these fish is known for building a bubble nest? Goldfish, betta fish, guppy, or tetra? See, these were all things that I brought up in my talk so as they could answer these questions. Rebecca goes B, betta fish. I think she was first. No, Dennis was first. Dennis was first with B. So 1-1-1-2. It was indeed the betta fish. What is the largest species of fish in the world? Great white shark, whale shark, blue marlin, manta ray. Go on, Brian. Shoot us your question. Rebecca got that one. B, I think. Rebecca takes it into the lead with 3, because it is indeed the whale shark. Which fish is known for its ability to... I should have stopped making all the answers B. I've realised a lot of them are B at this point. Everyone just type B over and over again and you'll eventually win. I'm bored of this game now because it's clownfish. What kind of habitat do catfish prefer? C. What fish is known for bright orange and black stripes? C. What is a school of fish? A type of fish, a fish's home, a group of swimming fish, or a place where fish are studied? A group of swimming fish. There you go. That was the quiz that I set for them. I hope you enjoyed that. A wee bonus quiz at the end there. The chat does indeed have a strange lag, so I'm sorry, but we'll call Rebecca the winner, and she wins absolutely nothing. Well done, Rebecca. Honourable mentions to Dennis, Lisa, Simon, and anyone else who tried to get in, but in the end couldn't. Go on, Brian, what's your question? Did you have a question? Because Cold Water Aquatics is streaming, we should hand over to them. I think it was the marine parrotfish that we were talking about. If in doubt, do you doubt? That'll get you far in life. But that's probably where we should end things. I didn't do it as a look at getting their phones out in school would have won you. I know. I did ask how it was going to be done because I was going to do it on my normal quizzing software, but they didn't have. They're not allowed to use their phones, and they didn't have time to get the iPads or the laptops or whatever it was. So we just had to do it like that. How do you tell the difference from toads and frogs? As I'm doing up my wild garden, we've got 40 hoppers. I think if you lick them and you turn into a prince, it's a toad, and if you die, it's a frog. Hope that helps. Or Juggler says, kiss it and see if it turns into a prince. Or if you get warts. Yeah. I don't know, is my honest answer. Who knows? At this point, I'm just like ChatGPT. I'm just googling things. Difference between toads and frogs, UK. Unlike frogs, toads have a bumpy, warty-looking skin that's virtually always dry, and they also have much shorter legs. They prefer to crawl around rather than hop. Toads are quite squat and dumpy, with a much broader nose than a frog. So there you go. If it's crawling around rather than hopping, it's probably a toad. And if it's warty and lumpy, toad. Frogs are smooth, toads are warty. Yeah, I think that's right. Speak to them in French and see if they run away. Right, are we calling it, or have we got any more questions for us? I assume Coldwater Aquatics is streaming. I haven't actually looked. Yep, he appears to be. Look, we can do that. I can pretend to be a reaction channel for a minute. Let me say hello and see if he says hello back. I can also see which of you have abandoned me to go and watch his channel. It's looking good though. His camera's looking better. His camera looks better than mine. I might need to get one of them. Thank you everyone for joining me. I'll see you through the week if I don't see you through the windy. Oh, QC straight on it, giving me the old like there. Have a good day, Cam. Thank you all for dropping by. Don't know why I said it like that. Good night, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. Hope you have some fishy bargains, Rebecca. If you're going to see Fish Shop Matt, tell him I said hello. Not that he knows who I am. I don't know why I said that. Just have a generally good weekend, everyone. That's what we'll say. Drop us a like. Drop us a like. Join as a member. Because remember, we're thinking of ways to make the memberships better. And you can contribute with your comments, or just go and watch a video. They always help too. And if nothing else, have a fantastic weekend, everyone, and I hope you have a good one. Cheery bye.
That is cool, man. That would be a very successful day for me, and catch a bunch of smallmouth and a 7-pound catfish. Sounds like you're on a nice sized little river there, probably having a good old time, man. Very cool. Scott, what's up, brother? Even all, hope everyone